Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be working on the X-Wing Starfighter. I don't have to work on my Spitfire because my son is otherwise occupied. And yeah, so we're here. Oh, and my Sonic Care toothbrush is recharging, so I'm not working on the Mustang at the moment. I'm sure you'll hear more about that on Interesting Tip Point at some point. So we do have the instructions here, and I think we're going to try and do the first little part, which is putting together one of the two wings. Specifically this one. Of course, all these instructions are in Japanese, so I can't read anything, but luckily they're pictorials, so mostly we shouldn't have to read them. Looks like we're looking for sprues B and C here to get started with. Of course, this sprue is marked 131, not B or anything. I don't think it's the one I want, though. Yeah, I'm really not sure. Oh, there they are. They're kind of funky. So that says C. We will need that one. This is also sprue C. So there's two sprue C's. Interesting. I'm assuming there's a sprue C left and a sprue C right. Ruh-roh. Okay, so where is sprue? Well, this one's got the wings in it, so we're going to assume that this is B, even though there's no B. Oh, maybe that's a B1. It looks like a 131 on this casting, but I guess it's a B. So we'll go with that as sprue B. Put the rest of those sprues aside for the moment, and get started on cutting out the parts for step one. So we need part B14, which is one of these two. I want to be exact. Okay, so cutting these out is going to be an operation cutting them flush, isn't it? And actually that worked out okay. The way these stubs are, you either have to cut them way back on the sprue and then cut them off, or cut them completely flush. And cutting them flush does not appear to stress this plastic, which is really awesome. Normally I'd never recommend doing that, but hey, it's working here. So that's B14 come off and B15, or B15, 555, which is this wing panel here. And yeah, apparently these will cut off flush with my nippers. Amazing. Most of the kits I work on, I wouldn't dream of doing that because you'd stress the plastic too much. Let's just get this cleaned up just a little bit. Not that they really need it hardly. If everybody that made kits put lessons from this, a whole lot of kits would be a whole lot easier to put together. I can tell you that already, and I'm, what, 2 pieces in. If all of this continues like this, you will be in for a real treat and watching not much problems. Or more likely, you'll still see some problems. They'll all be Greg inflicted problems on himself. Not anything kit related. We'll see if we have a winner or not. Let's check this out. There's another one. Ooh, actually found a little bit of a mole line there. Let's kill that real quick. There's not one on that side. I'll get something a little harder, but not real aggressive. Try to take that nub off a little better. There we go. One wing panel extracted. Let's see here now. This way up. I don't know what those markings there, those excitement markings or whatever you call them, are for, but we'll just ignore them. Snap this together. Oh, maybe we'll snap this together. Like I said, I think my problems are going to be self-inflicted here. I can definitely see doing this with no glue, because that sure went together nice, at least as far as staying together. Of course, this side doesn't want to go together, and I don't know why. Not only that, aha, I broke it. Aha. So I broke the tab off, so I'm going to have to cut it and put it together. So apparently I was trying to stick that in the wrong side. That's not very much good. So let's see if I can solve my first self-inflicted problem. Because I can't read Japanese. So what I did was I tried to put the tab in on the wrong side. Or the plate in on the wrong side. And I found out what those warning marks are. I think they tell you, they're how you tell the difference between these two sides. Too late for me, at least for now. So let's see where this one would have gone so I can glue it into the right spot here. Goes in like so right there. Let's get ourselves a little bit of Tamiya extra thin. Put it in there. And try and get this piece back in where it's supposed to be. These go together really tight though. There's no need for glue, at least not this stage modeling. In fact, I would say the glue is a detriment because you have a slight odd, it's not real high of, well, put a fingerprint in it, because God knows, I've never put a fingerprint in anything in my life. Yeah, right. Okay, so that's my first part together. Let's go get screw C and get a C13. There are two C13s on here, so let's pull off some C13s. So I know watching me take off sprues is terribly exciting, but I thought I'd put the whole video up. This is a Squadron stick. I haven't found a really good replacement for them. The only sticks I really found in the States so far that I like are these skinny sticks that I got from Hobby Lobby. They actually do real good. They don't have a name brand on them, so I can't tell you what name brand you'll get. Okay. Hobby Lobby, skinny sticks. I know I've got another package of them around here somewhere. They might be alpha abrasives. I've got some other alpha abrasive stuff I got from Hobby Lobby. I've got some Durasands, but they're not Durasands. The Durasands are not as good. So I've got a C13 ready to go on. Okay, it goes on this side because that sticks through. Checking my identifier. Big holes. Okay, now I'm confused again. So this is a part. This is a piece I just put in. This is the engine plate. The picture has a set of 2 big holes on it and then a set of 2 little holes right here. Well, on this side, which is not where I put that, there is a set of little holes and a set of big holes like the picture. So we're going to put this part in on this side, and we'll find out later how I got it wrong. Or maybe they're just they're pictorial directions or somehow. Oh, I know what it is. This covered over those big holes. So there we go. I've already gone on to the next step, and I didn't even know it. Watch the confusion. Watch the confusion. Pay attention to the. Pay no attention to the noob that's in front of the camera, screwing around with this model. On the other hand, if you watch this and you decide to do this model, you will have absolutely zero trouble with it because it's not bad. It's not so far. We'll find out later if there's some hidden mysteries and problems here. So far, it's making my Tamiya Spitfire look really difficult, except for the fact that the instructions are in Japanese, and that makes it hard to read them. So it goes like this. I wonder if the holes... Oh yeah, there is stuff there to prevent me from putting it in backwards. Yay. Who knew? Lego-like instructions, and I still get them wrong. Okay, so flip it over. There is a little arrow thing on here with some Japanese stuff on the next to it, I guess kanji, and I don't know what that means. But we're going to flip over the piece, and we're going to look for the little symbol here that tells us that we're on the right side. I'm going to cut off another B6 and another C13. Well, I've already put the C13 in, so I just need the B6. B6 conveniently is right next to B13. And they've been so kind as to put an underline underneath the 6. You can tell the difference between a 6 and a 9. They must really love us. Either that or they've been doing it for a while. BanDai does a lot of kits that are put together with no paint just to make almost like toys. Their Gundam line. If you've been around, hope you probably know about Gundam. Though you never know. Not everybody's heard everything, but Gundam is great big fad, and Gundam is a TV show, but Gundam and Gunpla, which is the modeling, I don't know if I pronounced that right, are more than just really Gundam. There's a whole bunch of, I speak like I know something about it. they do Macross and other things besides just Gundam models. But it's kind of, the whole history thing is kind of interesting. I read up on it a little bit ago. Just because I ran across it, I had no idea what it was. Flory Models put this thing up, an intro to Gundam, and I was like, why is a Flory Models care about Gundam? I mean, they're military and more conventional models, you know, trucks and cars and planes and tanks, stuff like that. What in the world are they introducing Gundam for? And I've run across it a few other places, like Adam Savage, I think, likes it, some things like that. And so I went and looked a little bit what a Gundam is, and it's kind of an interesting thing. Okay, so, but basically it's toys that you put these robots together. They come on sprues like our conventional plastic robots, or conventional plastic stuff, and they're made out of this kind of plastic, which is a little different than our standard styrene we use in modeling. And yeah, you just assemble these things and play with them. Well, I guess you play with them. I don't know what you do with them for sure, but they're snapped together. And they build. They have a whole different sort of genre of things they do that are interesting. They tend to be putting lighting in them and things like that. So that's all good. Okay, so I flipped this over again. Got it wrong. Flipped it over again, so I followed the instructions again. There's this little thing here that tells me which side I really am supposed to be on so I don't screw up. I'm going to do this little assembly here. So I need to get C out again, and I need to keep my clippers and my sander on top of my instructions. Since I'm working on top of instructions, I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea. I am looking for C2 and C12. Well, there's C2. And now I'm living a little dangerously. I'm just going ahead and cutting all these off right up against the parts. Something I would almost never do on a kit I cared about in the least. Sometimes I do that on my, when I build a snap type for my son, and you can see the result of doing that quite obviously when it happens. Where's a really easy one to see? So if I were to do that on a standard model, I would get, get it to focus here, a defect, something like that, run right there, where it's just all twisted and nasty if I cut up against them like I just did. On this plastic, you can do that. It's amazing stuff. This is going to be a fantastic model. Actually, even if you don't watch the series in whole, I'd recommend that you watch the last one of these and see if I still think it's a fantastic model. Because right now, I think Tamiya and the rest of the crew could really learn something from these guys. I'm talking about Tamiya as in Tamiya is one of the best model makers in military modeling, at least, out there. I mean, they're the guys that if something goes wrong when you're making their model, you almost know it's cool. All I'm saying is that these are easier than that. It's just an incredible thing. I mean, the hardest difficulty I've had so far is I put part in back in the wrong side. I snapped it off, self-inflicted, and I can't find my sanding sticks consistently. What can you say? I picked the perfect model to do as a first build for on the internet, because all it's going to do is show off how stupid I am. Okay, so I just paid for the first time for cutting close, but you know what? There is no way anyone is going to ever see it. Ha! I sanded it away. So it is possible to nick just a little bit by cutting too close with this, but trust me, people will not notice. My camera just clicked off and on. I don't know what's up with that. My DSLR. I think you're just going to have to put up with that in my videos, perhaps. There's a time limit in hard-coded into DLSRs. So Give me a second to find out how this goes on here. Of 20 minutes or 30 minutes, something like that. They can only stay doing video, and then they have to shut off. And well, the software I've got automatically starts it again, but it does shut off. Okay, so I just tried inserting this in this end here, and I'm going to glue this particular piece because the pressure of inserting it seems to pull apart the stick togetherness of it. Don't think this is necessary, but I'm so used to gluing everything that it sure won't hurt to stick a little bit of extra Tammy extra. Actually, it will, because I just got some on my finger. Stupid me. Now I'm not going to be able to touch anything with that finger until that flashes off, because otherwise I'll leave a fingerprint. I just did it again. Oh no! Clots! Clots! I need to get gloves. I'm going to have to wear gloves like a professional. Keep the fingerprints out of my model. Just tap those a little bit more with some Tammy extra thin. So get some to wick into those spots there. This one is a round piece. Oh man, I got a fingerprint. Damn. Sorry. Language. Sorry. I don't know if I'll be able to bleep that or not. I don't know. I don't want my channel rated. I gotta be careful. Now we'll have to come back and figure out how to bleep that. Some sort of software before I put this video up. Because I do not want to fall afoul of the Google police. Shall listen to it and see if it came through on the video. So, I put this together. I did not sand this seam. This is a round object. And I can see the seam. You on the camera will never see the seam unless I had a macro lens. That's how good it is. I'm not sanding to get rid of the seam here. I'm sanding to get rid of the stupid fingerprint that Greg put in it. And then process ruining the finish. So the interesting thing here is, if you were a good enough modeler, and there are plenty of them out there that are much better than me, didn't make silly mistakes like this, there is no way you would need to paint this. Just no way. This little nib here, it kind of looks like it's an accident. It's not. It's molded in. It's actually part of the little ray guns or whatever are on this thing. I don't know. A lot of this stuff is not really anything. They just, when they built them, they put stuff on to make it, you know, cooler than the original. And now everybody that makes anything from them follows those little pieces of plastic that LucasArts put in back in the day. That is something else. Okay, I'm going to try and put this on camera and see if there's any chance at all that you guys can see this seam. Okay, and this is the worst seam on this round piece. Yeah, you can see it there. A little bit of seam running across the front there. You can see it. I promise, though, it's round. Okay. I'm angling it, and I'm under some fantastic light. I'm zoomed in. Those are my fingers next to it, and that's the seam. If you put a little paint over that, maybe if you used all clad, you could pick that seam out. Hey, maybe I'll paint this thing in all clad. And I'll give myself a challenge to go get rid of the seams that are seams in here. But quite frankly, that's you build model planes and have to get rid of those kind of seams. You know what I'm talking about. That's a fantastic job of building a rounded part by those guys. C14, C14, C14. I'm looking for a C14. There it is. everybody put their sprue gates on like this, I would be thrilled. I would just be completely thrilled. Here, I am so different. This is my Revell B-27 bomber. Okay. Here's an example of the sprue gates I'm talking about here. Dum 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 dum. I'm wasting time looking for the sprue gate. I show this in the Revell model. Okay. On this Revell model, the sprue gates, focus there, on the wings were built with this great big lump next to the piece, so that the part you had to cut off here, there's no thin little sprue gate or anything here. You have to cut that whole piece off, okay? There, and then they put them out on like extensions like this, so even when you come and cut them and you try and set them on flat on your desk to use a knife to cut that, you're toast. You're going to damage it. You're going to get this kind of stuff. Right by my fingernail there. Focus, 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 focus. Where's my fingernail? There. You see that damage? Trust me, I've worked to get rid of the damage, so there it is. Right by my fingernail. I have worked to get rid of that damage on this one, okay? These guys, I just took this round part off with my clippers right up against it. I didn't have to sand it. I did because, well, that's what I do. The difference between that and these little sprue gates. Look at those sprue gates. See how small that sprue gate there is? I mean, it points to the object, and it is thin through both ways when it gets to the object. It's fantastic. Wow. I'm going to buy these and do them just because if I need an easy model to do sometime when I'm frustrated, this is the way to go. Oh my word. Okay. So enough gushing about this model. I probably will continue because it continues to amaze me, but nonetheless, this is truly a fantastic casting job. The details there too. The plastic's not too hard. The plastic is hard, but it's not too hard. And this is a 72nd model. It's got more detail than most 48 planes. Man, I can't even see the, at least not with the naked eye, I can't see the marks to sand them off. That is insane. I don't even have the best cutters there. I've been actually thinking about getting a better pair of cutters. Not too seriously, because cutters cost $10, and I've got a pair that work, but, man. Ooh, I found the defect. And I've got, you know, down lighting, I've got raking lighting here, I've got, you know, Photoshop, Photo Studio, daylight lighting in here. Oh, how much light do we have on this? I don't know. Probably we got one 2,000 watt compact fluorescent fixture. Another 300 watts. I probably have 2,500 watts of compact fluorescent, which is way more efficient than than equivalent light bulbs. So we have studio quality lighting in here, and that's what it takes to see any defects at all on this. Okay, so there's some warning symbols on this. Let's make sure I put it on right. I guess I did. We'll find out later if I didn't. Okay, next for C22. Man, that's just awesome. If I had a pair of fine ground cutters, or if I had ground these fine, like I really need to, I just haven't taken them out to my workshop and done anything to them. There's no way you can tell where these come off. Which really amazes me, because I was watching the one and only video I've ever seen on Gunpla. Comes from Japan. HobbyLink Japan has got a YouTube channel, and I actually subscribed to it to see what was going on. I told you I was investigating Gunpla. And they had a model on there that somebody must have just hacked, because in the shoulder there was actually a defect in the plastic from having been cut off the sprue, and I don't know how you could have done that given these sprues. Maybe it was put together by a child. My son could do a good job with this, and he's just turned 5. This is an incredible kit. I bought him a Revell one. Because I figured the Revell, it's a toy one. It's coming this week, so he could have it, so he wouldn't break mine. This is going to be really quite indestructible. This plastic is really nice that way. And it's probably going to be harder to put together than this one. Okay, C18 and C17. So when you see this one mess up, you know it's me. Woo. Guess that one broke off its gate somewhere in the shipping process. Oh, I got one that's problem gate. I found my first problem gate. It's not a big problem. But by comparison, it's a big problem. The way it's molded in there, my cutters would have scored the model if I'd gone in at it from that angle. Doo-dah. So, if you watch this, let me know how you're doing on your models in the comments. As most of you guys, I know Chris and Alex put up full builds, but I know most people don't put up full builds. I don't know why. If you don't want to watch the full build, you can always fast forward through it. You can skip around in it, but the full build lets you see the screw-ups are where I learn. I learn from the screw-ups. Or from where it's difficult, right? Like Chris just finished a Ventura Spitfire kit. It was a pretty crappy kit. Just go ask him about it. I learned more watching him put together that kit than I would have if I'd watched somebody put together a dozen Tamiya kits, because he worked around problems, and it was the working around of the problems that is where I learned. Because I learned techniques for how people deal with the issues that they run into. Now that is, I'm on the right side. As you can tell, I didn't pre-build this one. Oh, it's because this way, that's why those holes are there. Okay. Oh, do. It's like, they are a lot like Lego instructions. You don't have to read Japanese to do them. And you don't really have to know a whole lot about your subject matter either. All you have to do is look at the pictures and how Lego does it. The only thing they could do better with this is, I think it's Airfix has started color coding so that you can see what the parts are that are new from the last stage and the next picture. They could do that with their instructions, and that would improve them slightly. But we're talking nitpick here. These are really nice instructions. And you put this cap on the end here. Okay. That was Greg's fault. Okay, let me take that off there and sand it just a little bit. Defect. It's actually in a spot that's going to show up just barely with a magnifying glass. Anyway, it'll never show on a reveal on here. But it will if I take a camera picture of it at some crazy resolution on my camera. And put that up, you might be able to see it. You won't be able to see it on a video. Not at 1080p. Not unless I put the macro lens on. What's going on here? Okay. Oh, and those in the background, those are guinea fowl. Go look them up. They are a domesticated, sort of domesticated bird from Africa. They've been in the United States for a long time, but they're not real common. And they're really loud. They're good birds for when they get used to the situation. They'll do that when intruders come. So like a dog, they'll get really, really loud like that, and warn you what's up. That there's a predator in the area or whatever. So they act sort of like a livestock guard. My wife got them. We've been raising them to let them loose, and they just got let out. So they're exploring our property here in the last couple of days. And so they get scared of all kinds of things because everything they don't. It's not that they get scared. Well, maybe they are scared. I don't know. But anytime they run into anything new, they alarm about it because it might be dangerous. And because they've been in a cage and they're now wandering around the farm, everything is new. So they keep running into new things. Somebody gets out of sight, they go off. A chicken walks across the yard, they go off. Somebody goes around the corner and discovers there's a corner on the house, the guineas go off. Hopefully this will calm down, or we're going to have, I don't know, guinea soup or something. Or maybe they'll go on Craigslist. But hopefully they will work out really well. They're insectivores. Now chickens are too, but they're much more insectivores than chickens. They're more like turkeys are. And so they should be really good at keeping down the bugs in the summer. That's the primary reason for them. Secondary reason is they're pretty good for alerting on hawks and other predators. They'll even alert on people coming onto the property, sort of like the dogs do. So there we go. We have now achieved, I think, one of the engines. I'm not positive there. I'll have to go look it up, make sure. Okay, and I'm going to build another subassembly here. Oh, I'm still zoomed way in. I apologize. You probably haven't been able to see a whole lot of what I've been doing because I'm zoomed in like I was doing macro work. That's what I get for not checking. I can only assume because people that have been doing this for a while don't have as many problems with that I will get a system down if I keep doing this. Assuming I keep doing this, we'll see. Okay, that is a C sprue. I need the B sprue. B sprue. This is a bit of an experiment to see if this is something I want to do. I do want to give back to the community, and one of the things that, because I've already learned a lot from you guys, I can do is maybe build some models and let you guys watch. So this is my attempt at it. We'll see how it goes. Let me know in comments if you think this is useful or not, and whether I should keep doing builds on camera. The ones where you show your model when it's done, those are great. I really like watching the videos of people's models when they're completed because it's always neat seeing what people do. But honestly, I learn more from watching somebody actually do the process, how they think, how they solve a problem, all those kind of things. Now, you're obviously not watching much problem solving here. But This is also my first attempt at this. I'm sure I will do a much more complicated model on camera at some point in the future. I didn't pick this one because it was quite this easy. I didn't think it was going to be quite as easy. I just picked this one because I had not seen anybody do one of these. Most of the people I'm subscribed to are car modelers, plane modelers, miniature modelers, tank modelers, things like that. And I just hadn't seen anybody do this particular kit, and I knew it was new, so I figured it would be one nobody had seen built. So I picked it up to do this with. I picked it up because I wanted it, but I figured it would be a good one to do on video for you guys, because nobody else is building it. How am I doing on time? We're at 40 minutes. Good grief, I've been at this for 40 minutes. Wow, I gotta pick up my speed if I'm going to be doing this on camera. That is for sure. Oh well, I will just do them and put them up. You guys can comment on whether I should leave sections out or whatever as I'm building along. My personal theory on the subject is that I will probably put them up and let you guys skip what you don't want. That's my current thinking on the subject. That way when somebody comes along that is brand new and wants to watch them, they can learn all the little things that go. And when you come along and you've been doing this for a year and all you want to see is the Greg's newest discovery, you can skip around and just watch those pieces. So that's my theory on the subject. We will see how it goes as things progress. Of course, all this could go out the window if I get super busy at work and don't even have time to watch videos, right? But right now, I have a little bit of time because I'm only working my regular hours. I'm not working 80 hours a week. I've got enough free time to spend at least a little bit of time on this. So my intention is to get to the end of this step and put this video up. Hopefully I can do that in not too much time. Well, it looks like it's going to be about an hour for the first step of this model. Hopefully this will go faster soon. Okay, I'm looking for C12 and C2. I'm on C. I already cut out a C2 and a C12. Maybe it means C2 and C. There is another C sprue. I thought these were mirrors. Maybe they're not. Let me look at the directions for part 2, which is the other wing, and see if they're C11 and 3. If they are, so okay, yeah. So this isn't like a not like a plane where you have, or something that would have mirrors. They actually want you to take out the 12 and 2 for both parts of the wing. So they're not mirrored sprues. They're just 2 sprues that have half of each wing on each sprue. There, something to learn. Not that it wouldn't have taken you but a couple of seconds to figure that out yourself, but hey. So, what should I do about painting and washing this thing? If you're watching this video at this point, and you have nothing else to comment on, leave me a comment on what I should do for finishing this thing. I could do anything from leaving it stock, because quite frankly, it's got colored plastic and it's even got decals for all the coloring, say on the cockpit rim and everything, or I can paint it. My own feeling on the subject is I might leave the plastic as is. It's got a really nice finish on it, although I'll go look at some models and do, or some, not some models, but some reference. And then do some washes and do a few things like painting the cockpit instead of using a decal for it. So that's my current feeling on the subject. But let me know in the comments what you think I should do. C14. Talk a little bit less, work a little faster. 4. Hopefully this is still recording because my camera went off again, or triggered the lens closed and opened again on the camera. I could even go try and find some of the techniques they use on Gundams for they call lining and things and try those on this model. Completely different from how we would approach it as a plane, for example. Which might be interesting too. I think I need to come up with some more things to talk about as well. If I'm going to sit here for an hour and have a conversation with you that's all one-sided, I'm going to have to think of things to say, aren't I? Besides gushing about how good this model is anyway. Okay, that's step 1/6 done. Oh, that's that gate I need to cut with a knife. Okay, C17, C18. I should probably cut that one with a knife too. The gate. It's a gate where it comes in diagonally into the corner of the model piece, and the cutter is going to cut a diagonal onto a flat and sort of take the corner off if you don't cut it off flat with this knife. It's probably a real good place to put a gate, but there's a little trouble. Okay, so that's done. Why B22 called out special? I got no idea. C16. This is C, so C16. So those of you that do builds on video, how much prep do you do? I know, like, say the professionals will usually even do their dry fit. You don't ever see them taking stuff off sprues and things like that. I think that might be silly, but no, it does seem like you want to have as much stuff ready to go as you can before you get started doing a video. Personally, I like taking them off the sprues as I go along. That way I know I've got the right part. Unless it's just like a billion parts that are the same, or it's a subject I know real well, or whatever. And I will look next time at Hobby Lobby and see what these sticks are, because these skinny sticks do work real good. And you get a bunch of them in a pack, so okay, that's all good. Put this together like so. This would help if I tried to put it on the end cap on the engine the right way. Ooh, there's almost a detectable line on that one. if I do finish that, I'll have to come back and knock that off. There is a little bit there on the line. Okay. And on to the last step for this sucker, at least for this half of this wing of the plane. That's not a plane, it's an X-wing, but it's got wings. I'm justifying this under as a plane because it's got wings. And it flies. Don't tell anybody it flies in space. It doesn't have a propeller. Usually I like to stick to planes with propellers. Actually, I like to stick to the World War II era planes most of the time. Not just military necessarily, but that era of aircraft in general. The more modern jets, some of them are very cool. Just haven't had that much interest in modeling them. And the earlier ones, well, the rigging scares me. Okay, what piece don't I have here? I don't have. I've got B16 off. I've got that one off. I'm looking for the B2. That one's interesting. It almost looks like there's an extra sprue gate there that didn't get molded in or something. They were thinking about putting it in when they built the sprueing, but decided not to hook the gate up. Because it just kind of comes to there, like it would have a gate. There isn't one. Put this engine together. So I'm going to try one more time to show you guys just how fine the detailing is on this thing. There in the light, hopefully you can see it. Down just so the camera focus a little better. I'm trying to show you there. It's just mold etch, or the texture that's in the surface of that plastic there. The whole model is like that. I'm just picking on that particular piece because it's the one I pulled out. It's just really quite fantastic. Okay, and this goes behind this engine is the rest of the engine. No glue required. Okay, then I need to put on C28. 2 pieces of C28. Or C28. Yeah, 2 pieces of C28. Well, there's one C28. Another one's C29 right there. So, to find another C28. Suppose it's on the other sprue. That's throwing me for a bit of a loop. I can see why they did it this way. It's actually more efficient than the other way from a mold perspective. You just run the same mold twice for each kit box, rather than having mirrored molds. Okay, and there is a warning on here, so let's pay attention. I'm not sure why. There's only one way that really could go in there. I'm going to give you a couple of hash marks, so pay attention. Or you'll break the first part you put in the bloody thing. Considering I broke the first part that went in this thing, the rest of this wing has gone together just amazingly well. And that is the first wing of this X-Wing. Congratulations if you stuck around with me, and well, there it is, all done. 1/72 BanDai X-Wing, Wing 1, Part 1. Thank you very much for sticking with me, and we'll see you again for Part 2. Thank you. Bye-bye.